Speaking of Megan Trainor, I didn't tell you this the other day. It is Megan Trainor, right? You
Yeah,
remember
something
that?
like
Okay, thank you. Thank you for
trainer,
confirming.
trainer. Well, that
So
sounded bad. Never mind. It's trainer.
so did you know that she's married to Junie from Spy Kids?
Yeah, I think was it you or some? I think it was you who told me that.
Yeah. So the other day, I think it was a couple weeks ago, I
Hmm.
woke up randomly and had to throw up. And if you know me, I don't get sick like sick very often. So when I throw up, it's like, oh, that's
Okay.
weird. Um, and then I just didn't feel good. So it's like 6 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, I don't want to watch like a Marvel movie. I've watched like all of them recently. I want to watch some like a feel good movie. So I put on Spy Kids.
Oh God.
Dude, Spy Kids 100% is a measure of kids movies that were made also for adults because
Mm.
that movie was entertaining as hell.
No.
Yeah,
No.
absolutely.
No.
Absolutely it
No.
was.
That was entertaining as a kid. I will give you that. But to
When was the
say
last
that
time you
like
saw
that's
Spy Kids?
entertaining, I don't know, last year or something. Yeah, you thought you caught me like in a lie or something, but no, I saw it like at least like last year or something like that.
Okay, I will actually say Spy Kids 2 is better, but like I was just sitting
You,
there.
please tell me you didn't like We Can Be Heroes because you're a grown ass man and
Oh no,
there's
I never
no
watched it.
possible. Oh, thank freaking God, it's
Yeah,
bad.
no.
It's
I
bad.
knew just by watching it. I'm like, this is not going to be for me. But
Mm.
no. Anyway, the point of all of that, because we
Is
know
it though?
we like to walk. I was just sitting here watching it and the entire time. I'm like, yeah, no, yeah, all about that basis. Married to this tiny little child. Yes, he's a. It's but honestly, I
He gets to stick his secret agent in Megan Trainor.
secret agent, man.
Man. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Threat X3 Productions and Nick and Nate, which makes me Nick.
Oh, I was gonna be Nick.
Damn it. Okay,
Well, I'm
we
Nate.
should have practiced this better before, but that's okay. We'll just fuck it. Keep going. Um,
Well,
and so
fucking
yeah, we're here to talk about stuff and things and junk.
mostly junk. No, yeah. Speaking of junk, can I just ask what the fuck is going on at Activision?
Yeah, like it genuinely is one of those stories that like the more stuff keeps happening, the more it's very 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 confusing because it's like
What's confusing? Let me ask you, what's confusing?
no, it's confusing as to like honestly it's confusing as to how this all just kept happening and just it just kept happening and kept happening and kept happening and I can't remember how long ago it was, but there was one time I think it might have been Activision, honestly, but we were talking about this kind of thing. It's like Me Too happened like, a year or 2 years
Mm.
ago now. And like how did this not come out sooner? Like I feel for these people, especially like one of the ladies who got a higher up position but still wasn't getting paid as much as her male counterparts. And there's so many people out there, so many people out there who try to say that, the fact that women don't get paid as much as men is just false. And it's like, okay, yeah,
Mm. Yeah, no, I think honestly, what it is we as a culture, as a society, have hit like our bullshit limit. I think that's what it is
yes,
because, like, I have, I have a theory. I have a conspiracy theory that
theory time.
theory time that these billionaire execs still think that we're fucking idiots and just so basically with what happened with GTA as well as the stuff with Activision, it is clear as fucking day to me that these CEOs and representatives think that we're idiots and think that they can just go, oh yeah, no, they're gonna buy it anyway, which people did, don't get me wrong, but when literally every single outlet is going, hey, this is literally a technical shit show that is so half-assed it's not even funny. it's like,
Yeah.
and with the Activision stuff, it's like the most damning part is the fact that the board is siding with Bobby Kotick, and it's like, for me, like whenever I saw that, I was like, okay, I'm just gonna boycott Activision. Like
Yep.
I'm not gonna buy their games. And people were like, oh, you gotta developers quit.
Yeah. Quit. Get a new job.
Yeah,
Unfortunately,
I would
yeah.
find a new job. I would
I
tell you to quit
deleted Cold
Activision.
War, and I mean, like for the longest
That's
time,
why. Okay, that
I
makes
kept
sense.
Cold War. It's not the exact reason, but it definitely pushed me over the edge for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, I deleted Cold War, and for the longest time, I still played zombies because I freaking love zombies, you
Mm-hmm.
know. And even though all this stuff was happening, and uh, even after his tone deaf response when he first responded, it was just like, okay, whatever. And but this time it was just like, all right, this is it's gone officially too far. It's like back when Fallout 76 first came out and there were so many bad things coming around it. I ended up deleting it because it just felt icky even
Mm-hmm.
just signing on to play.
Yeah.
Because there's just so many things. You had the nylon bag, you had the rum or something, you know, like there was
Yep.
just one story after another. And this kind of was the same thing where it's just like I can't bring myself to have fun with zombies knowing that, I mean, most of the interviews we see about zombies is just a bunch of dudes.
Yeah.
Every once in a while we'll see a girl in there, but it's just a bunch of dudes, which just solidifies the whole, you know, bro culture and like college dorm room culture. And it's just like
Yeah.
I'm not okay with that. You know,
Now,
and I think you make a really good point as far as like people aren't stupid anymore. You know,
mm-mm.
whether that means we're woke, which yeah, fuck off. Whether that means we're woke or we're just paying more attention, or you know, like back in the 80s, how much did you know about the people who made the video games?
You didn't.
You didn't really. Like, you know, Shuhei Yoshida, I feel like I didn't hear his name until like Greg Miller and Colin Moriarty started like pioneering it.
Yeah. You knew
I
like
wouldn't have known who.
Miyamoto.
Yeah, good point. Yeah, Miyamoto. Like you know who he is now, but it's like before, yeah, you didn't really know. I mean, I'm sure that there's plenty of people, obviously, like, you know, they're yelling at the screen right now, right? It's like I read magazines and the magazines talked about the people. Yeah, okay. I'm
Yeah.
talking more about just the broad audience. The
Mhm.
broad audience just didn't really know that stuff, and now there are kind of names
Yeah.
being attached to things, you know. So
And
it's even more weird that people think that they can get away with this stuff. Sorry, go ahead.
well, I was going to say, and just to give the kind of, not the disclaimer, but just to the argument of Call of Duty, like, yes, Treyarch and Infinity Ward and Sledgehammer, they're all different companies separate from Activision. So it's
Right.
one of those, I don't think that those specific game studios were affected in a majority of this. I think it is within the Activision Blizzard ecosphere itself. But
Right.
for us, like, that's the main way we support Activision is with Call of Duty.
Mm-hmm.
So like that's an understandable reason to kind of have that cut, but I can't think of any other solution until they basically because the thing that's really getting me too is the tweets and everything about the like what the workplace is wanting, like what the union is wanting
Right. Right.
for things to go right is totally reasonable. Everything they're asking is like
Yeah.
reasonable, even just to any standard corporation or business. But for them
Right.
to not even acknowledge is like, I don't.
I mean, here's the thing: if you don't get rid of the captain is going to go down with the ship.
Yep.
So get rid of the fucking captain. Plain and simple. Um.
And
Yeah.
let's also not forget that captain was also in Sir Epstein's little black book too. So
Was he really?
oh,
I
no,
mean,
no,
I'm
that's
not surprised, but at the
100% he
same
was.
time, like, yeah, that's funny.
There's pictures.
Yeah.
So it's just
I mean,
it's scummy all around, and
yeah.
I'm excited to see what happens next because we've started to see like we're now at a point where our feedback we can actually see matter. Halo Infinite's a good example that came out and everyone called them
Wow,
on their
yeah.
shit and was like, wow, that's bad. And I feel like we would have done the same thing with GTA trilogy
If we would
if
have freaking known,
yep,
yeah.
if we would have known. So I'm curious to see who is next, what company is going to be the next one to be like, oh, they're never going to notice this, and we're like, no.
guys, stop it.
Yeah.
Just stop. I mean, yeah. I mean, hopefully it'll do. I'll do. I mean, honestly, one thing I'm definitely glad, and this is even before all the really fucked up shit that's been going on. I am actually extremely glad I haven't picked up Vanguard, and because if I would have picked up Vanguard, it would have been for Vanguard Zombies. Have you heard how bare bones it is?
No.
It's really bare bones.
Okay.
So first off, the weirdest thing is that they tried to make this hybrid between Outbreak, where there's objectives, and round based, where like they're not big environments or something, which is what made Outbreak work, is that it was this big environment, and so whatever. But it's just, yeah, it's not round based, it's not Outbreak, it's some kind of weird amalgamation in between. And to like get into each objective, you have to do a portal. And sometimes the portal takes you to a completely different place, like Shinonuma or this like kind of windmill area. But then sometimes it takes you to the next building over. But you still have to go through this like 6 second teleport animation just to put you in the same area essentially. And so then you do these objectives, okay? But here's the bad thing. There are 3 objectives currently at launch. 3. So if you get to round 15, you can repeat each one of them 5 times. So you're just doing, collect these things, put it in here, follow the floating head around. And then I think one's just, lockdown. You're just in an area and you're just killing zombies. That's it. So you just do that over and over and over and over. So there's that. Then, imagine this, if you will. Close your eyes for me, okay? Okay, close your eyes, okay? You put your gun into the Pack-a-Punch and it comes back out normal. So it still does damage, but no Pack-a-Punch camo. Right? Right? Like, the fact that they didn't even do Pack-a-Punch. Here's the thing. For me, as a Cold War, I don't want to say veteran, as a Cold War fan, all they really had to do is like, hey, I mean, they set it up in the Easter egg. Hey, we're going to go back in time and we're going to... I mean, it's Treyarch. It's not like this is Sledgehammer's team doing a zombie mode. It's Treyarch's team doing a zombie mode. So all they really had to do is take all the stuff that was working and a lot of fans actually really enjoyed about zombies and just carry it over into World War II. Even all the like artifacts are just the field upgrades.
Yeah.
So you have the Frost Blast, you have the fire thingy, you have the energy mine, and you have Ether Shroud. So they're all the same. It's just that now they're, tied to the occult, which is cool. But then it's like you didn't carry over the tiers. So you remember you could upgrade everything. You could upgrade Pack-a-Punch, or not Pack-a-Punch. You can upgrade your perks. You can upgrade your weapons. You could upgrade the field upgrades themselves, so the ice and stuff like that. Yet you can't do any of that in Vanguard Zombies. And it's just like, I genuinely don't understand why they didn't just make Cold War Zombies in World War II.
Yeah, that's what I
But
was gonna say. I feel like the easiest thing that you could do there, because the new zombies map or mode that they showed off in Cold War was cool. Like
yeah,
that kind of style was cool. So wouldn't have it
right.
just been easier to do a World War II map instead of making a brand new
And
bare bones?
I think that's what like a lot of people were expecting. It was like, okay, we're just gonna get the prequel to Cold War Zombies, but unfortunately, we get this weird stuff. And here's the thing, a lot of defenders would say, "Oh, but the development, they didn't have as much time to develop." Yada fucking yah. I'm sorry, but it's essentially just a skin. Yes, there's a engine. They're going over to the Modern Warfare engine. Yeah, you can make that argument. Okay, yeah, sure, whatever. But it's a skin. You could have just brought over what you had from before and put it into this. And I mean, I'm not a coder, so obviously it's way more complicated than that. But still, it's just like you had a system that was working, and a lot of people agreed they preferred. I definitely preferred it. Picking up scrap, like crafting stuff, upgrading.
Yeah, the only thing that I could think of now that I'm thinking about it, because one of the things that I do appreciate about my schooling is that I do have a kind of a basic understand of some game design stuff.
Hmm.
So if it's a problem with the engine, that would make the most sense, especially if that whole zombies suite that came with Cold War, if that was built on Treyarch's engine, not Modern
Right,
Warfare.
right.
So, but that just kind of shows to me that they were rush ordered on it. So they're like, "Hey,
Yeah,
here's the Modern Warfare engine, do something," because and that's what it
yeah,
seems like it happened.
yeah. I mean, already we got Cold War because they took over for Sledgehammer. And so then Sledgehammer comes around, it's their turn, and now Treyarch takes over again. So it's like, I mean, Activision is so keen on having a yearly thing that they're just ready to tank the entire series. This so far has sold 40% less than Cold War, and Cold War already sold 20% less than the last one. So this is now the worst selling Call of Duty, you
But
know?
but
But
it's still ranking up there with FIFA as the second highest selling in the month.
and possibly the year. Yeah.
And that
And
is why
that is why, like, you remember before it came out, I was like, I have no hope of it beating 2042 because it's just Call of Duty. And no matter what, you're just going to have a bunch of fuckboys buying it because it's Call of Duty. You have a bunch of people who they just don't even know video games. They only know Call of Duty. Does that make them not gamers? No, not necessarily. I'm not going to be like, oh, you only play Bejeweled. You're not a gamer. Like, I'm not going to say that, but it's like there's so many people. Same thing with FIFA. FIFA's a
Mhm.
really good example. They don't do anything. They like change around some names and maybe do like very, very small iterations, and
Yep.
then they just bleed you fucking dry
Mhm.
with their microtransactions, and then they're just like, oh, but you can't carry it over to next year because next year we're just gonna wipe the slate clean and make you pay a shit ton again.
Yeah.
Like,
And with Modern Warfare, like that was the first time and that's that is again what is so fucking interesting. And it could be timing with COVID because it is kind of where it lined up with, but how Modern Warfare
the C
was
word.
a step in the right direction. Like how much like
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
the engine was, and then the whole thing where they're like, hey, we're gonna have this uniform system to where you purchase this, you'll be able to use it. So that is a step in the
Mm-hmm.
right direction for consumerism.
Right.
But how the next 2 years have just been like, again, that's a clear representation of corporate,
Right.
because that is the reason why we're going to have a Call of Duty every year. They really need to take an Assassin's Creed approach, because I think that that's helped. Like
Mm-hmm.
when
Mm-hmm.
Assassin's Creed got rid of the yearly entries and started giving more time to them, everyone has their opinions on the RPG one, but I mean they're good quality games.
Right. Definitely. Yeah. I mean, it is interesting to see our hype level and our general demeanor around Cold War just last year. You know, it was me, you, Kevin. We played it and we're like, oh my God, this is so much fun. And this is great. And the zombies is great. And like the fact that I can play it and Warzone
That's
and
great.
still carry
Yeah.
over to Battle Pass and stuff like that. But then Warzone also kind of shit the bed because they're like, yeah, we're not going to give you a new map. Instead, we're going to give you Alcatraz, which is just like, we're just going to copy and paste. You know, which is part of the reason I think they could have just copied and pasted a lot from Cold War over to, because they copied and pasted Alcatraz over.
That's a good point.
And like, and then it took them like what, another 6 goddamn months for them to just go back in time on Warzone. And so we still had the same map, but they like, you know, Fortnited it where they're like, here's a bunch of new points of interest. Yay, we did something new, people. And but then World War Z is gonna get a brand new freaking map. Or, I mean, I guess they already have or something. Like, it's so freaking asinine. And honestly, it's all of that crap on top of like the sexual allegations that it's just like, this is too much. You know, I don't know what it will take, but I I am swearing off Call of Duties. You
I
know,
think that honestly, that's what it's going to take. If it,
yeah.
I
I mean, I'm gonna personally swear them off. If Bobby Kotick is out of there, I think even then I'll still give it another year. Wait for Treyarch to officially come back around, because then at least I know I'll get a real zombie, not this bullshit zombie that they're making now or whatever Infinity Ward will do. So it's like, you know what? I'll just wait anyways. You know, because I mean, change is coming, and hopefully it'll happen by then. But yeah,
no. No.
so yeah. So how do we transition into the normal Nick and Nate stuff, into stuff that we never really talked about before, but we want to start talking about now? Do we do it awkwardly by me making a scene?
That's one option. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Good. 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 So we're on the right track for that plan to go swimmingly.
Yes. Yes. Sounds accurate.
Yeah. Okay. So I mean, we are going to be starting doing stuff a little bit different here on Nick and Nate. And one thing, you know, that I wanted to start to do is I wanted to just start talking about stuff, anything we wanted. You know, we made the joke before where we're going to talk about stuff and things, and really we're going to talk about whatever we want to talk about. And one thing that's definitely been on my mind lately is the whole Kyle Rittenhouse situation. And, you know, if you've watched us, you know that I like Philip DeFranco. I like watching him. I also like a guy, David Pakman. Have you heard of him?
Mm-mm. I haven't.
He's not a streamer who does exclusively Pac-Man stuff. No, he's actually a political commentator.
Damn. Thought I had it right.
But I've been watching some coverage, and there's just some weird effing stuff about this judge. It's shady as F, and it's shady enough where if it was on the other side of the aisle, you know what I mean? If it was on the other side, people would be like screaming from the heavens, oh my God, he's biased or whatever. So just as an example, there's a clip where they're talking about their lunches coming in. And so he's coming in, they were going to have Asian food. And so, I mean, kind of racially charged. They're talking about Asian food, and he's like, well, hopefully it's not stuck on some boat out in the harbor. And it's like,
which also at the same side is topical.
It's topical, but also
it's got seeds of racism.
It has extreme seeds of racism because, of course, would he have said that if they were getting barbecue ribs?
No, yeah, that's the point. Yeah,
right. But not only that, but it does kind of lean a little biased, because although he didn't say because Biden's messing up everything with the supply line or whatever, he didn't say that. But it's like also is like he's making a joke, kind of. It's a right wing joke. It's a joke that only a right wing would find funny.
Yeah, the two like knee jerk reactions I've seen, because and I'll be fully transparent. Like I haven't sat down and most of the coverage.
Where'd you go? Oh crap! I think I lost you.
I'm here.
Oh, okay. Sorry, you were just see through. Sorry, Nick's gonna Nick. He's out of here, guys. I've broken him.
It's fucking awful.
So go ahead, be transparent.
I haven't watched myself a lot of the Rittenhouse coverage, like from front to back. I haven't been watching like the
Oh,
live coverage of the trial.
oh,
Um,
definitely. Yeah, me neither. I try to stick to just highlights and stuff like
yeah,
that. But
that's kind
go
of,
on. Sorry.
and I've of course seen the majority of the clips that have been going around, and of course DeFranco's coverage. Um, my two knee jerk reactions is the judge is either A, showing that he is still a right, showing, trying to actively show he is a right wing ally, based on his demeanor
Right.
through and just basically the interactions I've seen of him, or he is like, hey, I know this is going to be a highly publicized thing, so I'm, and
And
I
he's
don't,
trying to be a character.
yeah,
Is that what? Yeah.
and I don't
Yeah.
know
I
the
can agree with
motivations,
that. Yeah.
but I mean, a lot of that is like it seems like he is being overly dramatic. Like, why am I seeing articles about the uh judge
Mm-hmm.
calling out MSNBC?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like, it's
Yeah. Sorry. um, I think it was David Packman, not Philip DeFranco, but I think David Packman brought up the fact that it's like, let's say we're watching football. If the conversation is more about the referee than the game, there's a problem there.
yeah,
Even if you agree or disagree with what the conversation is about, it's still a problem if the conversation is about the referee.
yep.
And so that's kind of like, and then there's this whole thing with the judges. So apparently, 8 people went in, and then there were going to be alternates, and so he had Kyle Rittenhouse choose names from a thing, and he had a reason why, and that was if they, pick names from a hat, there could be calls for, oh, these are biased because you got rid of certain people. So then he talks about one time when they did it, and they only had one black on the jury. Just so you know, that's his wording, not my wording.
I was about to
one
ask.
one one black on the or one black person, I don't know if he said person, but anyways, on the jury. And so then they picked a name, and what was it? A black. And that's his phrasing. He said a black. He didn't say the black guy, he said a black.
Or the
Now he
black
could have
gentleman.
misspoken. Like let's always try to play devil's advocate. Let's try to do the Philip DeFranco thing where we're seeing both sides. Maybe he misspoke and he meant to say the black, but even then it's like the black person, the black male, like I need more than just stopping right on the word black in order for me to not take that as, you know, a little bit of racism. Just a little bit, just sprinkled on there, because it's just like,
Yeah,
oh,
that actually
like
go ahead.
he was trying to show that he wasn't biased by showing that he was racist.
Going back to something we talked about earlier, of the bullshit meter just being broken or just being at its limit. For me, one of the new ones is when I hear someone talk about, he's like, oh, you know where they grew up, you know where they came up from. I'm like, yeah, they grew up around racists. Like, I mean, there's just no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Like, I trust me, as someone who grew up from the age of 6 to adulthood in East Texas, deep East Texas, knew a lot of people, knew a lot of culture around there. Like, I understand. Yeah, I know how you were raised, but you were still raised with racists. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
it's just there's not really a way to get around it. I mean, and that's just a factual statement. So it's like that's just not that's you. That's not
Yeah.
a argument for me anymore.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, the fact that we even have to question whether or not the judge is racist is a bad thing.
Exactly. Why are we not
Because
talking about the core of the case?
right, why are we not talking about the merits? Why are we talking about the defenses? And then he got rid of the one charge that I feel like a lot of people agreed on, and that was the charge of him getting the weapon illegally. You know, I think everybody, just looking at the facts, not saying I agree with it or anything like that, but just looking at the facts and from a legal standpoint, he will most likely get off as far as it was self-defense. You know, all the footage, all the testimonies, everything, he will most likely get off. And the fact is that it was self-defense by a legal standpoint. We could argue for days about, well, why was he there with an AR? Why didn't he have a pistol? He was there to, be a medic, but he had a gun. We could have that argument all day, but from a legal standpoint, yeah, it was self-defense, right?
Mm-hmm.
We can agree on that. But then the judge just completely got rid of the one thing. I feel like a lot of people are like, yeah, he did break the law. And that law that he broke was he got a gun over here because he couldn't over here. And he did that knowingly. And I think that's the big difference. It'd be one thing if he just went over to his friend's house and the friend was like, hey, here you go. But it's a whole nother thing that he knowingly broke the law, because from the state he was from, he couldn't get an AR. But the state he went to, he could. I mean, am I correct?
See, that specific fact, I'm not 100% on,
Because
but
I think one of the reasons he didn't get a pistol was because for some reason he couldn't get a pistol, but he could get an AR.
so yeah, it depends on the state, and without
Yes.
knowing the states right off the bat, like I can't say verbatim, but this is something I said to you before. In most states, in general, you would ask me the question like, why didn't he have a pistol? Why did he have an AR? And it's one of those, that argument I actually do see the validity in on his age. If he decided in his safety he needed to carry a gun, why he
Right.
had that, because in most states you have to be 21. Actually, I think just across the board you have to be 21 to purchase, own, or handle a pistol.
Okay.
So
Okay.
a lot of other areas they haven't gone to the 21 for the ARs, so they're still under the long rifle,
Gotcha.
which is 18. So the
Gotcha.
argument of why
And I
he
do
had
believe
the AR,
it was a semi-auto. It wasn't like an AR that was fully automatic. So
no, the only way you can get a
long
fully
rifle
auto,
is a good way to put it.
yeah, the only way you can get a fully auto is with a certain license. Takes months and months, and you actually have to be 21 for that. So
Yeah. Yeah. So either way, like I said, he knowingly got
right.
the AR because he couldn't get the AR from where he was. And so I think it's the knowingly part that makes it even more messed up, that the judge was just like, you're all right. Like, and this goes back to whether or not, is he biased? Is he not biased? But should we be asking those questions? No, we shouldn't. We shouldn't have to. We should be able to know that beyond the shadow of a doubt that, like, here's a really good example. Brett Kavanaugh, who's the lady?
Amy Coney, Barrett, Amy Barrett.
Amy Coney Barrett. So Brett Kavanaugh and Amy Coney Barrett have made judgments that some would say, sorry, that some would say would go against Trump,
Yeah,
and what he believed. So to me, even though I might not agree with how they got to their position, especially Amy Coney Barrett, because unfortunately somebody died, and we're not going to go down that rabbit hole as far as like how people said that, oh, you can't do that while there's an election going on. But no, just kidding. It's our guy, so it matters when it's ours. Anyways, so we're not going to go down that rabbit hole, even though I kind of like peeked at it and looked inside. So even though you might not agree with how those people got into power, what they've done with their power so far can be respectable.
yeah,
Because they've done things that, like, you would think, no, this is a Trump appointee. Oh, it's going to be an obvious yes. And then they voted no. It's like, okay, like, I can respect that. Even if we might not line up exactly to, abortion and gun control and all those things, the fact that they looked at the law and they're like, sorry, you didn't do this correctly, we can't accept this.
Yeah.
Like, okay, they didn't just go with their side, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And so then we look at this judge, and why is it a conversation? It shouldn't be a conversation.
I have a question for you, Nick, because you are older than me.
I am.
How much of the original OJ trial do
Quite.
you remember?
Oh God. Oh, I'm not that old, you jackass. But I know. I guess tangentially, I know about it. Why? What's the question?
Well, so like that is one of those standout trials, and I feel like unfortunately this is going to be something along those lines because it's something everyone's fucking talking about.
Right.
I know that there was enough notice of the judge in the case. Obviously, they, in the other depictions and things like that, like the FX series, the judge had a fair role to play, but it wasn't in a comical manner.
Yeah.
So it's like,
Yeah.
My worry is that for years when we look back on this trial, why are we going to be primarily focusing on the judge? You think?
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I mean, of course, on Rittenhouse and whatever ends up happening with the case, but the fact of him being like almost all the news coverage I've seen on the case, apart after the whole whatever the fuck that was, has been about the judge.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
It's like it gave Tobey Maguire a run for his money on that one.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. That's a crappy one. But hey, you know what we are? We are fair and balanced here. So you know what else we'll talk about so that we can silence the haters? Why the fuck is Joe Biden getting a bunch of oil companies money? I'm sorry, but that's definitely not something I expected. You know,
Well, that's we
you
want to
see a
talk about
Democrat.
Trump's.
Sorry, go ahead.
Well, that yeah, you're right. That's actually a twofold. You want to talk about like a Democratic president giving money into oil companies, but also, I guess I don't know because it's hard because I don't really pay as much attention to the political news cycle sphere because most of it I just find bullshit. But I
Mm-hmm.
feel like people are calling Biden out on going against
Mm-hmm.
his you know what's the right phrasing terminology for
Going against his. I
what
mean,
he
going against, I
his
guess, his
initial running
principles.
his initial running
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
anyway, whereas people were doing the same thing for Trump, like because I remember they
Yeah.
were like of course bringing him over the coals because he was Trump, but or he is Trump, he's not dead yet. Oh, that woof. Anyway,
Not yet.
um, I feel like there because that's a big thing because his platform whenever he was running was basically go green, go green, like so heavily green that Biden or not Biden, Abbott, the governor, Texas Governor Abbott was like,
Hey, I bet.
hey, Abbott was like about to fight, and so
Right. Yeah.
it's like it's weird.
Yeah, there's definitely because I mean most of this I did also get from Philip DeFranco, and I look up stuff as well, but Philip DeFranco gets the ball rolling. Let's just put it that way. But yeah, the fact that it wasn't technically him, but then he let it happen essentially.
Yeah.
It's like, I mean, there are so many tricks to the trade that you can essentially keep something in litigation for years. So it's like you could have kept this going, but instead you signed it. And the fact that this happened just after the G4 G4 G6? How many G's are we on?
I don't know. Who said Joe Biden was a puppet? What? I'm sorry. What'd you say? That's the way
That
the
is how
world.
the Oh man. So like what sucks the most about that is that who's looking at him favorably right now?
Nobody.
Nobody. I mean, there's definitely some, Republicans out there that are probably like, "Yay, oil! Let's
Well,
go
no,
get some."
yeah,
Woo-woo.
yeah. I was gonna say there's a lot of people in that way that
But
are,
that's
but
like the cartoony Republicans. Like real people are just like, ah.
well, it's like and I can send it to you. There was a TikTok that I had come across the other day where this guy had basically duetted another video, and the first one was this woman going how liberals be for Biden, and it was like a video of him, and they had in the background going, "Our God is an awesome God," and like basically saying that they're worshiping him, and the guy duetted it and was like, that's called projection. And then was showing like the different examples, especially that Manson Jesus picture that they did with Trump. But it's like, yeah, I don't know why you guys like you guys are talking about Joe Biden more than I feel like liberals and Democrats are. So it's like it's just a confusing time we're in right now.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, the last thing I expected was a Democratic president, or even Democratic, Senate or whatever, to be like, yeah, like all this oil stuff, let's yeehaw. You know what I mean? Like,
Like,
is
sir, I
it
just
my
watched The Day After Tomorrow yesterday, and
right,
let me tell you why that's a bad idea.
right? So it's all fun. It's all fun. So that was our due diligence to show you that we're not 100% biased. We showed you how screwy it is on both sides.
Everything's on fire.
Everything's on fire. Look now at the gazelle. I don't know why I went to that voice, but I was like, look on fire. So speaking of on fire, our channel, why don't you go ahead and subscribe to it? That's ThreadX3 Productions. That's right. Go to ThreadX3 Productions so you can get more stuff just like this, and you can see our faces. You can see them. You can watch them. Do it now. Oh!
It's totally not smooth in the slightest.
Somebody just turned the sexy on. Is that it? Is that all? Are we done? Can we?
Oh, we didn't talk
Can we
about
be done
metaverse.
now?
Metaverses.
Yeah, let's end on a good one. This is a good one. I will certainly end on a good one. Here we go. We're gonna go.
So for the recording, I would preface it before you show the video, before you show the trailer. I would preface it before you show the trailer. Like, say what metaverse is.
Don't tell me what to do.
Okay, fair.
Fucking fight me, bruh. Metaverse. Oh, nope, that's the Facebook one. Verse
Is metaverse
How the fuck do you
is.
spell verse? Says verse.
Or it's multiverses. That's what it is.
You're right. Okay.
Multiverses.
Dang you, Facebook. Multiverses. Okay, here we go. Multiverses. Can I just have the trailer? Because I don't want the explanation.
No, I think that's the only thing.
Yeah, you're right. Okay. So, multiverses. We're going to end on a good note here. What was your initial reaction to this?
So I actually had heard about this from somewhere online that there had been a leak of a Super Smash Bros. Like game that had like Batman, Bugs Bunny, and Rick and Morty, and I was like,
just hit the Batmobile. Sorry.
And I was like, that just kind of sounds like it sounded bad, like the way they presented the information. It's like it didn't sound bad, but it's like, oh, that just sounds like you just didn't have high hopes. Seeing this and actually seeing the breakdown was the best way to present this game, because now I am 100% invested just from this 3-minute and 30-second trailer.
Yeah, definitely. I think the thing that's really kind of setting this apart is that they're hitting home the fact that this is a co-op or this is a team-based thing. You know, kind of like how like Apex kind of set itself apart because it's like, oh, it's not just battle royale; it's like squad based battle royale. And so the fact that we're kind of getting that here is really cool. I'm sure there's going to be a free for all version of it, but I also like, obviously from the launch of this trailer, we're seeing a lot of like Universal, correct?
Warner Bros.
Warner Brothers.
Yeah,
See,
this
that's
is
what I
Warner
meant.
Brothers property. Yeah.
Yeah, we're seeing a lot of Warner Brothers property, but the guy on several occasions emphasizes that they want to do this for like anybody could show up. And if like they really do mean anybody, I mean, I think that could if they really leave the door open and we could see anybody like, yeah, what are the in the, but it okay. So what non Warner Brothers person would you like to see in this game? Because like the fact that he kept emphasizing it, to me, the fact that he kept emphasizing it means that either they have some non Warner Brothers people and they're just saving them, or they're in the talks. And so like they're trying their hardest basically to make this a real thing.
I mean, because here's the thing: with as many characters and properties that they have, I feel like they could probably rely on that if they just not Rogue One,
Yeah.
sorry, either Ready Player One or if they even Space Jam Legacied with the character. I mean, they have a lot of stuff to choose from, but character wise, that's a good question.
Oh, dude, Neo. I didn't even think
Oh
about
yeah,
that.
yeah,
Freaking Neo from the Matrix.
yeah,
Oh my god, that would be awesome.
yeah.
Harry Potter. Oh, Harry Potter. Oh my god. So I just basically Googled Warner Bros. Characters. So yeah, we have freaking Harry Potter. We have the Matrix. Once again, if I just go by Space Jam, we have Mad Max.
Yeah.
We have King Kong. We have Iron Man. Not Iron Man. We
Iron
have
Giant.
Iron Giant. So I mean, all of those. So it's like, let's see. Let's see instead. I don't Shrek. Let's say that Shrek
Shrek's
would be kind of
DreamWorks.
cool. I know, but I'm
Oh
trying to think of like
yeah, yeah.
non Warner Bros. Because if they're really committed to the, you know, anyone can show up or whatever, it's like okay, Shrek. Let's go that direction.
Yeah, it is interesting that they don't specifically say in the Warner Bros. Universe.
Mm-hmm.
Like they do say because they are building that platform, like you'd pointed out, for it being a multi-verse type thing. So, um, man, character who well,
Yeah,
I
hope they
cannot
live up
think.
to it. If they live up to it. So let's talk about the characters, I guess, that are on it. So far, we're seeing like Steven Universe, the guy from Adventure Time, somebody else from Steven Universe, Batman,
Arya
Wonder
Stark.
Woman. Yeah, I guess so.
No, that was Arya Stark, and that was
I know. I'm
that.
just
Yeah.
giving you shit because I don't give a rat's ass.
Oh yeah.
Um, but see, yeah, that brings back up the Space Jam thing because there was Game of Thrones references in that. But yeah, we got Shaggy.
Which
I
is
think,
great that they're leaning into that meme. Like so great.
yeah. I think the best thing about this is the fact that it's free to play.
Yeah, so being someone who has probably played more Brawlhalla, because I feel like that's going to be the biggest comparison we can make based on the game it is. Do you think that, like, how do you think this would compare? Because Brawlhalla, like, did a lot of really cool brand deals and did a lot of, like, things
Mm-hmm.
like that and events. But I don't know. There's something about this from start to finish, the way they describe it, the way that, and I guess also because the star power that's already included. I mean, they're pointing
Mm-hmm.
out that Kevin fucking Conroy is going to be Batman in it, of course,
Yeah.
and like all the other voice actors and actors who played these different characters are voicing, and it's like, okay, you're putting a lot of effort into this.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, it already
See,
gives me
they're
goodwill.
putting more effort than freaking Nintendo All Stars Battle Royale. No,
Nickelodeon, Nickelodeon,
Battle.
Nickelodeon,
What?
Nickelodeon All Stars Battle Royale.
Yeah. What did I say?
Nintendo.
Did I really?
You said Nintendo.
Run it back. Play it back. So Nintendo All Stars Battle Royale. Nickelodeon, but the Nickelodeon All Stars one, I reviewed that. I was not impressed. And one thing that stuck out the most is having SpongeBob in the game, but not hearing SpongeBob. It didn't make any sense. It still doesn't make any sense. How are you Paramount, for instance? How are you Paramount and you don't have access to the lines? Like having Nigel Thornberry, obviously, unfortunately, Tim Curry's not here anymore, but how do you have Nigel Thornberry and you don't have him, like, every time he does a punch, he's like, smashing? Like,
That's a good point. He is still alive, by the way.
Tim Curry?
Yeah.
I thought he died.
No, I mean, he's not in great health by any means, but he's still alive. Like, he's kind of in that Christopher Reeves territory, feels like.
Mm. Oh, jeez. Why did I think he was dead?
Because there was a story came out like a year or two ago that said he died.
Ah, damn it! I got rickrolled, right? Is that the?
Yeah, but it's a. What point was I gonna make? Oh my god, I was gonna. Well, it's like another thing, another reason why this looks so appealing, and I can't say for certain. I can't say because I don't know. I didn't see the UI. I didn't play the All Star Battle Royale game, but having for the first time in a while booted up Super Smash Bros. Ultimate again on Switch, I couldn't figure out how the fuck to play the game.
Yeah.
Like, I remember Brawl, and I remember, even on the Wii, like the modes I wanted to play. Going through the menus, I'm like, how the fuck do you just play normal Smash? Like, this makes no sense. But everything about that seemed clear to understand. He's like, hey, we are going to have cross play, and it's also cross progression, so you don't have to worry about where you're playing as long as you're playing with your buddies. I'm like, dude, you were selling me on this.
Right.
Just by being genuine.
Right.
You're saying all the right things, and I think with how much.
And the thing is that if we have to pay a little bit to get like Bugs Bunny and his little outfits, or we have a battle pass where we get those, because it looked like during some of the footage, it did look like they were kind of going through some type of a battle pass, because you had like the Bizarro Superman outfit, and then you had like Shaggy with his shirt off, and you had Bugs Bunny with a Viking or whatever. So it's like, if we have to pay a little bit extra to get something like that, it's like, as long as it's fair.
Yeah, that's
as long as it's fair.
That, and is also goodwill.
Yes.
Because of how they've presented this game, the very first time they've introduced it, me and you are on the same page where it's like, I don't mind probably giving that game money. Like, I don't mind giving the money. Like, it's, I'm going into it not incentivized to buy microtransactions, but much more open to it than me opening up Call of Duty and seeing 25,000 skins.
10,000 skins in the air. Speaking of skins, oh no, we wanted to end it on a good note. I'm not gonna go there. I'm not gonna go there. Don't go there. Don't go there. Don't go there. Be a good place. Be a good boy. So yeah, I mean, this just looks awesome, and the fact that, like you said, it's going to be cross progression, it's going to be free to play, it's going to be like, this is great. I don't see this going wrong. The only thing I would worry about is the roster, because if it's like an Apex thing where it's like every 90 days we get a new character, I would argue that's maybe a little too slow. And I would want a new character, I don't know, every 30. Well, maybe no, 30 is way too soon.
No, 60 days, yeah.
Yeah, I could see 60 or something like that. But it's like, if anything, it's like for every season, I would like 2.
Yeah.
You know, maybe one at the beginning, one at the end. You know, I don't know. I guess maybe that's too much too. I don't know.
I think one per season.
Yeah.
I think it's good.
I don't. I guess it just also depends. You know,
Where's the
like when Ultimate was doing it, I feel like it was like once a quarter.
It was once a quarter. But here's the thing: is they're really potentially wanting a lot of characters, so you could easily do one character a season and not run out of characters for a long time.
Well, right, but I guess what I'm saying is that if they're wanting to do anything and everything, it's just I just hope it's got a good flow, because like right now a really good example is the fact that we have Wonder Woman, Harley Quinn, Superman, Batman, so we have all these people just from one franchise. Then we have 2 people from Adventure Time, 2 people from Steven Strange, 2 people from Steven Universe or whatever. 1 person from Game of Thrones, 1 person from Scooby-Doo. So I guess what I'm trying to get at is like they're already like blowing their load, so to speak. It's like I hate to go back to the Nickelodeon, but it's like they have 3 characters. 3 characters. No, seriously, go watch my review. I do the same bit there. 3 characters from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Really? 3? And the third one is April? I would have rather than not had 3 SpongeBob characters, 3 Avatar characters, 3 other characters. I would have rather them not do that if it meant I got all 4 of my goddamn turtles. Like, it just doesn't make any sense. That is such a DLC, like, clickbait. You know what I mean? That is such a DLC bait that it's not even funny. Like,
and it's the ugly turtles too, isn't it? Like the most recent version of them.
They're not ugly. The Nickelodeon, like the newest season or whatever, they're not ugly.
There's one that I've seen the toys of. I'm like, these look like shit.
Well, yeah, the toys, but on screen they look fine. I think.
That's the model the same. What are you talking about?
In Time. That's the real turtles, right?
No, this is the Total Turtles Fandemonium out of its shell.
Oh, legit don't know what you're talking about. Shell Shock.
I'm sending you the picture.
Seriously, Nickelodeon All-Stars. What's wrong with you? You have a fighting game with turtles in it, and they don't say Cowabunga. They'll say it in a text box, but they won't, like, so dumb. Where is it? Discord?
Well, actually, I'm just sharing.
Jesus. Oh, God, those don't look very good. How many fucking tabs do you need open?
But
do you have any squid porn open?
I do not.
Like, you might want to share.
These guys, I'm like, look at Donatello. Like, what did they do to my boy?
Donatello looks weird as fuck. Like, Raph is like a fucking roid master. He's more like Hulk smash.
And then like, it looks like they did Leo like God of War paint.
Is this
and it was
another Nickelodeon?
Thursday. Yeah.
Oh God, why?
I don't know.
This is something I'll never understand. Why in God's name do we have to keep redoing? As far as I know, the most recent Nickelodeon
was that 3D animated one, right?
The 3D animated one, and people loved it. There were actually a lot of people, because like one of the person who actually used to be Raph now voiced Donatello, and people just loved it, and there was a lot of care into it.
I watched like an episode flipping through, like I'd seen it come on. I was like, oh, this is not like turning my attention away. That new, it's called The Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. The really ugly ones, that's from the show. That's the name of the show.
Oh.
Yeah. No, the most recent ones you're thinking of, those looked good. But
those are the ones that are in the game. So
okay, good.
That's it. That's all we have for you. We're done.
Yeah, that's it.
So multiverses. Also, I do kind of like the play on words there, multiverses.
Yeah,
because it's a fighting game. Do you guys get it?
And multiverse is a really popular thing right now because of Marvel.
Oh yeah, right. Oh God, we didn't even get to talk about that. Do you want to?
Which specific stuff?
Spider-Man.
No, I don't, honestly.
You don't want to. You
I
don't want
don't.
to
I
talk about
don't.
how there's clearly a frame
I
that's
don't. I
missing from
don't
the
want. I
United
don't. I.
States trailer where the lizard goes like this as if he's getting kicked, but there's nothing there, Nate.
I
There's
don't. I
nothing
don't.
there,
Don't
so
want to
you
talk
know
about
what's
it.
gonna be there? Other spider people.
Yeah, the one that really got me, that made me laugh, was the clip of Tom Holland almost spoiling. Did you see that?
Oh
Were
God.
they watching?
I
He's like, "Hey,
want
where's
to.
the?"
I want to. I want to. I want to. I want to. What?
She down for whatever. Where's the back of his mind is Coretta, and she knows. She knows, and I know she knows. She down for whatever. Where's the back of his mind is Coretta, and she knows.
Okay, I'm confused.
And I know
That part, he almost spoiled something because he goes, "Wait, where's the?" Oh, wait, and then their reactions are, "Oh fuck, he almost spoiled it." And so the comment the joke on the song is like, she knows. It's like, oh, they realize that he almost fucked up.
back of his mind is Coretta, and she knows.
I wonder. At this point, I wonder. Does he get in trouble for it? Because he's not like, I don't know. There's like embargoes, right? Like just like a video game, for instance.
Yeah.
Like if I get a copy of Elden Ring early, they'll give me this huge list of stuff I can say, stuff I can't say, yada yada yada, right? But
Yeah, like there's
and I'm
certain slip ups, like the Ruffalo thing, and hit Holland stuff with interviews, but what is the worst thing I think that he's done? You think that he's done?
I think there is one time he spoiled the fact that he dies on Infinity Ward.
That
Or
makes sense.
Infinity Ward. Yeah, the new Call of Duty stars Tom Holland.
Yeah.
That's been spoiled
Yeah.
right here. So, yeah. All right, I do feel like we have officially ran out of stuff.
Yeah.
So, thank you guys so much for joining us on this new edition of Nick and Nate. We're doing stuff a little bit different. Now, this next part's for the true fans out there. You ready? Hey guys, how's it going? We're back from outer space. We're trying something new. I think we can both agree that we've had a little bit of an identity crisis several times throughout our lifespan here. And there's definitely been some people who've stuck around during our identity crisis. We are trying something new here, and if you want to stick around, I hope you enjoy it. This time was kind of just a catastrophic, G4 ain't got shit on us. Because, hopefully our transitions will be a lot more smooth in the future, because we do. I mean, it's cathartic being able to talk about just whatever we want to, so being able to talk about something that might be politically charged is something we never did before, because that's not necessarily nerd.
Yeah.
And so, I think there was a lot of soul searching. There was a lot of, like what is quote unquote Threat X3 Productions going on, which is why we've been gone for a while. Because we'd start one thing and then stop it and start another thing. So, yeah, I think we're doing something new. And I think the most important thing is that we're just doing what we want to do.
Yeah.
And, if that loses a couple of people, that sucks ass. And it's definitely going to affect us. Not going to lie. But at the same time, we have to kind of just keep being true to ourselves. And, yeah.
We will cry.
Say?
But we will make it through it.
Yeah.
No, and that's kind of to just reiterate Nick's point. Like that's the main thing that we really kind of soul searched and focused on, is just figuring out what is it that we wanted to do. Because we can easily see like, hey, there's a lot of stuff that's going on around this. Like I feel like something we can definitely talk about, but like being able to freely talk about, whatever's like on our mind without having, to think about the onus of X thing is something that's been a really nice change for us, and hopefully you guys enjoy it too.
Yeah. I mean, like, for an example, we've been going for about an hour and 10 minutes. I don't think we necessarily planned for that.
No.
I wasn't planning for an hour, but it just happened because
Yeah.
we just started talking. But I definitely feel good afterwards.
Mhm.
You know, we're gonna refine it. We're gonna make it maybe a little bit more smoother, and everything. But this is kind of what you can expect from us from now on. So stick around. We're gonna keep doing stuff. We still have like reviews and stuff.
Oh, hi, cat.
Hi, pussy, cat, pussy, cat. I did it. Anyways, thank you guys so much. Once again, I was Nick,
And I was Nate.
and remember, you can always talk nerdy to me.
Feed your cats.
Fine, don't do the thing, you